It's Friday. It's the 16th of January. It's about time I had a shave. I've got at least 4, maybe 5 days worth of nasty old stubble. Because I thought I'd give it a few days rest, let me introduce you to my palm trees. What do you think? Anyway, yes, it's not that I'm feeling spring-like, very far from it. Anyway, today's shave is going to be with a Mitchell's wool fat, which is very traditional and quite old. I think I've had this about 3 years, probably longer, I don't know. Anyway, point being, the other day I was silly enough to cut myself while shaving, and I thought I'd just have a little natter about the correct way to overcome it. If it's obviously a tiny little nick, then it's just a weeper and it doesn't count. But if it's deeper than that, and this one was, then it's wise to give it a little bit of time to recover. For the simple reason, like most cuts, it was a little bit of what I term a flap cut. So it's got a little bit of depth to it. Anyway, given a few days, invariably it will become okay. But there's a sensitivity in the area which you've got to watch. But to punish myself sufficiently for that awful oversight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shave with a good half hollow custom razor from Max Spreacher. And this one is quite special. It used to be lethal. It had the most vicious Spanish point you could possibly ever wish for, which is one of the reasons I loved it. However, it came from a very good friend in California who decided to part with some of his very exotic razors, and I snapped them up. So, do you know what? I think that'll probably do. Performance on the soaps, I don't really care about, quite honestly. Some do perform better than others, I know. But the main thing for me is a modestly sensible lather. Anyway, let me show you this rather special Max Spreacher. Dry the fingers this time, don't want any more slips. This is a friggin' monster. How about that? Isn't that beautiful? It's the traditional Max Spreacher with the long address saying his name on the tang, which I prefer. Anyway, this one was owned by a very good friend of mine in California. It has mother of pearl inlay on the spine. It has a totally absurd point, which I very, very slightly blunted years ago. Let's see how it goes anyway. I'll give it a quick run through. Yeah. Nice noisy razor. Surprised, I've forgotten how noisy it was. This is quite noisy because it's quite large. It's about 9/8. So it is a big razor. Yeah, that's nice. The one I cut myself with was a little tiny 5/8. Good quality steel from Ecclestuna. There's a CV Helga strand, but I don't like little wobbly 5/8. Yeah, this is doing its job very nicely. However, so I had a heavy cold, and that threw off my balance. Here's a word of advice for those who don't already know this. They reckon having a heavy cold or a flu and driving or operating machinery is about as daft as you can get. It's about the same as being drunk. We don't like drunk driving, do we? No. So let's go to the other side, which is the side that I cut myself with. So this is the dangerous side. Let's see if I can do a job. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I've just gone over the place, the wound area. No feeling at all. Absolute perfection. Yeah, you must never be in a rush when you've got a cold. Anyway, chaps, I'm going to make this very brief. What do you think of the blades? Good, isn't it, eh? You can shave with one of these. Brings back your confidence. Yeah. Confidence restored. Big beefy blade. Hanging hair tested. It hasn't been stropped or touched in over a year. Yep, that's lovely. One more pass and we're done. I'm going to make this a very brief one. So, I hope all is well out there in shaver land. This will be a simple 2-pass. Nice traditional soap. Thinning it down a bit. It's very strange. When I put my fingers over the cuts a couple of days back, remarkably tender, and yet in shaving with it today, nothing at all. So, against the grain, lovely. It's possible to shave with anything, but I do prefer a big blade. You have more control with a big blade. Why the CB Helgestrand and the other various manufacturers in Sweden made such small blades, I've no idea. This is lovely. Go against the grain on the other side. Yeah. Very, very, very nice. And that's it. That'll do me. I can now face the day. It's been so wet, I haven't been able to do any slinging. So I'm looking forward to getting out there today. And hopefully using a few new, well, second hand, but new to me, baseballs. Baseballs come in 2 different types, softballs and very hard cork filled hardballs. And it'll be very interesting to test the 2 against each other. So, how about that? All done. I'm keeping this one a brief shave. I've got things to do, places to go, people to see. My slinger friend in the town, very nice guy, owns a shop, and I'm going to go and see him. Today's his birthday. He's getting very old. Yeah, he's nearly 20. I think he's 23 today. So happy birthday, Armand. I shall be down shortly. Anyway, that's perfectly adequate shave. Little tiny red blemish where the cut was. I say was, it's still healing, but of course, if you can pass over it with a razor, it's healed as far as I'm concerned. Won't do that again, hopefully. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Do you know, I'm teetering on the brink of 700 subscribers. I'd be eternally grateful if someone could push me over the brink. I'm not making any money out of this. It's purely my own joy and to entertain and hopefully even possibly instruct. So, there's the Max Spreacher. I'm going to give that the pipe cleaner treatment now, because you you don't want any dampness. So if you use a pipe cleaner, just make sure everything is thoroughly dry. Isn't that a beauty? Whoa! You might not be able to afford a Lamborghini, but you can buy a second-hand Max Spreacher. This one, my dear friend in California. Anyway, thanks chaps. That'll do me for now. Have a wonderful Friday. See you all soon. Thanks for following Martin's Test Shaves.